Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to welcome you to this webinar series organized within an advanced training program funded by Erasmus+. Advanced webinar series will have altogether 7 webinars this year focusing on ATMPs and career development. My name is Elise Kadung and I'm the EU Project Manager at EATRIS. EATRIS is the European Infrastructure for Translational Medicine. I will be hosting this webinar today, and our speaker is Dr. David Morrow. Before we get started, and I introduce you to our speaker, I want you to advise that this webinar, as well as the Q&A in the end, is being recorded. The recording will be made available on EATRIS's website and shared via our social media channels. We have reserved some time at the end of the session for questions. We invite you to write them all down in the question box during the webinar, which you can find on the slide in the control panel as indicated. Our speaker today is Dr. David Morrow. David is the Senior Scientific Program Manager at EATRIS. David received a Bachelor of Science in Molecular Biology from University College Dublin in 2001 and a PhD in Vascular Biology from Dublin City University in 2006. This was followed by an American Heart Association postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Rochester Medical Center in New York from 2006 to 2008, which resulted in an American Heart Association Young Investigator Award in 2008. From 2009 to 2015, he was an NIH American Heart-funded principal investigator, heading multiple projects in cardiovascular disease and cancer. David also holds an MBA in Health Science Management and has worked as a consultant in technology transfer in life sciences. Without further ado, I would like to give the virtual floor to David, but before I do that, I would like to congratulate because as it so happens, today is David's birthday. Happy birthday, David.
Thank you, Elise. Thank you very much. It will be a weird birthday having to spend or be 2 meters away from everybody, but I appreciate it. Okay, so thanks again for the very nice introduction. Before I start, Elise, on your side, are you seeing the right screen?
Correct, and I can hear you well. Thank you.
Okay, let's hope that it stays that way. Okay, so thank you all for joining us today to hear about the advanced program, particularly during these challenging times. We sincerely hope that all of you and your families are remaining healthy and safe through these days. So first and foremost, what is ADVANCE and why did you get involved? Well, ADVANCE is a 30-month EU training project that is supported by the Erasmus+ program. It has the objective to develop a 3-stage blended learning program to support early career biomedical scientists like you in developing currently missing scientific knowledge, transversal skills and competences to meet the key challenge areas existing in the ATMP development cycle today. The curricula is going to consist of webinars, online modules, face-to-face workshops, and will address 4 main cross-cutting topics. This is scientific, regulatory, manufacturing, and commercialization challenges. Forward. Okay, so the advanced program is made up of several partners. It is coordinated by EATRIS, which is the European Infrastructure for Translational Medicine, the Institute for Interdisciplinary Innovation in Healthcare, Takis Biotech, KU Leuven, Elevate, the University of Ljubljana, and Instituto Superiore de Sanità, the ISS in Rome. The program is going to be made up of 4 e-learning modules, 2 cycles of 7 webinars, 2 face-to-face workshops. There will be career coaching. It is directed towards PhD students, early postdocs, and doctors in training. It will be accredited by open badges. It will be in English, tablet enabled, and best of all, it will be free of charge. So before I discuss the advanced program and answer some of your questions, hopefully at the end, let's have a brief discussion on these therapies and the field we hope to educate you in during the advanced program. Specifically, what are classified as ATMPs, what they can offer the patient, where the field currently is, and where the main challenges currently lie. So what are advanced therapies? Advanced therapies represent a new class of living drugs. For over 100 years, the main therapeutic approach has consisted of chemically produced small molecules, which still represents the main pipeline of therapeutic development today. Over the past 30 or more years, we have the revolution of protein-based drugs producing living cells, referred to as biologics, such as antibodies, which I'm sure all of you know about. Now it gets a little bit more exciting. In the past 20 or so years, we've had the evolution of what we refer to as living drugs, with advanced therapies offering in many cases a game-changing first-in-class treatment and even a cure. So with an increase in promise, however, also comes an increase in complexity. Of note, the graphic I have shown here is from the Restore project, which involves multiple institutions across Europe, which are either partners or supporters. This project aims at a future that makes advanced therapies accessible, affordable, and the standard of care for many currently incurable diseases. So I would certainly recommend that all of you who join the course or online today have a look at that very interesting project. So classes of ATMPs, excuse me, they are divided into 4 classes. Firstly, we have gene therapy medicinal products. These are recombinant nucleic acids that regulate, replace, repair, add, or delete a genetic sequence. We have somatic cell therapy medicinal products. These are products that substantially manipulate cells and tissues that treat, prevent, or diagnose a tissue. Tissue engineered products are substantially manipulated cells and tissues that regenerate, repair, or replace human tissue. Finally, we have combined ATMPs. These are medical devices that include a cell or a tissue component. Of note, what is not an ATMP is a product that contains non-viable cells of tissue or vaccines against infectious diseases. So what about the promise and opportunities that ATMPs can deliver? Well, ATMPs represent a major leap in personalized medicine. They use the individual's unique genetic makeup to tailor a treatment for that patient. They offer a living drug alternative where there currently is none, such as in rare disease. They have the potential to address complex diseases such as motor neuron disease and other diseases where there are currently limited treatment options. Above all, they provide life-changing benefits to patients and their families. So what about realizing the opportunities of ATMPs? So during the advanced course, we will discuss in great detail some of the amazing opportunities that ATMPs can offer the patient. One recent example of where the promise of ATMPs has been realized is in chimeric antigen receptor Tcell, or CAR-T treatment, which I'm sure most of you online today has heard of. CAR-T is an example of a gene-modified cell therapy and has shown great success for the treatment of hematological cancers. But bringing this therapy to the patient represents a major challenge, and even more challenges will have to be overcome to make this promising therapy a reality for solid tumor patients, which is a high priority for our scientists and will be a central theme in one of our e-learning modules. So how does CAR-T therapy work? Well, from the diagram in the top right-hand corner, white blood cells are extracted from the patient, which includes T cells, by a process called leukapheresis. The isolated T cells are then engineered, which involves a gene encoding the chimeric antigen receptor, or CAR, into those T cells. These T cell numbers are then expanded using state-of-the-art technology in GMP conditions. This will be a major focus in this course, the methodology that is used to expand these particular cells. These CAR-T cells are then infused back into the patient to target and destroy cancer cells. On the slide, you will see Kymriah, which is an example of a market-approved CAR-T product that came online about a year ago. This is the treatment for pediatric and young adult patients up to 25 years of age with B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia that is refractory, in relapse post-transplant, or in second or later relapse. The promise of this can be realized here by Emily Whitehead's example, who was the first child to receive Kymriah in 2012. Today, Emily is thankfully 7 years cancer-free. So where's the field of ATMPs presently, and how many of these complex therapies have received market approval for patient use? Well, as of today, there are presently 13 approved ATMPs in the EU, courtesy of this EMA schematic. These include 4 tissue engineered products, 3 somatic cell products, and 7 gene therapy products. The list includes examples from ChondroSelect, which is one of the first approved ATMPs consisting of cultured chondrocytes for the repair of knee cartilage defects. Another example is Holoclar from Chiesi Pharmaceuticals, which consists of cultured corneal cells for the treatment of corneal lesions, and CAR T therapies such as chimeric for B-cell lymphomas. Most recently, we have had Zynteglo, a new transfusion-dependent beta thalassemia product, which was released last year. So why only 13? Well, there's been over 500 clinical trials using ATMPs in the period 2009-2017. 350 of these have received an ATMP classification. There was 22 marketed approval applications reviewed, 13 were approved, and 1 decision is pending. 2 have been withdrawn and 2 have ended. So why, with so many clinical trials ongoing and the obvious hype around such revolutionary curative therapies, are the number of products reaching our parents so low? Well, here we return to that word again, complex. So what are the main focus areas that determine their success and failure during development? Well, Advance has structured its program to tackle these areas head-on, which includes the scientific, regulatory, manufacturing, and commercialization issues. So firstly, scientific challenges. Well, ATMPs, they are novel and complex. There is a lack of precedent. Clinical efficacy is hard to demonstrate, such as finding the right potency assay, which remains a major bottleneck in the field. There is a lack of accepted standards for efficacy and toxicity in the preclinical development phase. There are risks associated with their administration, such as surgery or catheter. There are specific safety issues, such as the risk of integrational mutagenesis of GTMPs, unexpected biodistribution issues, ectopic tissue or tumor formation, for example. The classic controlled randomized double-blind clinical trials are not feasible for most indications, particularly in life-threatening disease where there is no satisfactory standard of care. So what about regulatory challenges? Again, they are novel and complex. Gene therapies can be a transgene. What type of vector? Are they genetically modified cells? Are some of the questions a regulator needs to answer. Cell therapies can be autologous, they can be allergenic. It is a complex process and is often a combination of many different types of processes. Development requires expertise from several areas: cell and molecular biology, biotechnology, surgery, risk management, medical devices, and ethics. The manipulation of cells and use of recombinant nucleic acid bear unknown risks, which may not be solvable through standardization or quality control. The product and its safety and efficacy profile need to be carefully, prospectively planned, and the key data should be based on findings that are both robust and reliable. What about manufacturing challenges? Cost-effective scale-up of ATMPs. Most of the development to date has been done in small volume vessels with manual process, which, 1, raises the overall cost of manufacturing. Secondly, leads to quality and consistency issues, not least to the presence of human operators. What do we need? We need good enough technology for driving reproducibility and standards that won't break the bank for the developer. We need methodology for quality confidence at the right time and acceptable cost. We need operations modeling to investigate different modalities of production and distribution, such as production on site and hospital networks, or specialized regional centers of excellence. During this course, we will discuss the difference in opportunities between autologous and allergenic products. The primary difference between allergenic and autologous are the source of the cells for that therapy. Allergenic therapies are manufactured in large batches from unrelated donor tissues, such as bone marrow, whereas autologous therapies are manufactured as a single lot from the patient being treated. For some autologous therapies, the cells from the patient are processed on-site at the clinic or at the hospital. These therapies are not regulated as a biologic product and not produced under GMP, but rather the devices used are regulated. From this figure, we can see the different processes involved in both product types, each step offering their own unique challenges. If we first look at allergenic products, it is off-the-shelf product, it has reliable sales potentially and stable production schedule, and it involves centralized biobanking and production facilities. On the other hand, an autologous product is a custom-made product. It is for on-demand sales and regular production schedules, and is manufactured at regionalized production facilities. Both product types require supply chain management, cold chain assessments, and validated product and production before it is distributed to the specialized medical center and to the patient. Each step in these processes has their own challenges. The advanced program will look at these challenges and try and educate you on some ways to overcome them. Finally, we have commercialization challenges. The high direct cost of manufacturing, which we just looked at, of these products is ultimately linked to the sticker price that is charged to the payer. This is often too high for many healthcare systems. Market approval is often not renewed. One such example is a product called Glybera with a very high price tag of 1.1 million is no longer on the market. Complex preclinical and clinical development before market authorization drives these prices up. There is a necessity to provide data for each single product, depending on the type of manufacturing process used. Pricing of ATMPs is largely due to the clinical effectiveness of one ATMP versus another not being known or quantifiable. So often there is no alternative treatment option. And finally, no previous data for an accurate health technology assessment and appropriate pricing strategies further complicates the process and limits the option for clear reimbursement strategy. So how do we overcome these challenges in development? Well, we train the future professionals such as you of advanced therapies. That brings us back again to what is ADVANCE? Well, again, ADVANCE is a 30-month EU training project supported by the Erasmus Plus program with the objective to develop a learning program supporting early career biomedical scientists like you in developing a holistic vision of the complex processes and translate scientific advances into patient-oriented standards of care while further enhancing their transversal skills and competence. The curriculum will consist of webinars, online modules, and face-to-face workshops addressing the 4 cross-cutting topics we've just discussed: scientific, regulatory, manufacturing, and commercialization. So at this point, I will thank you for your attention. I'm going to now hand it back to Elise, as you will have all, or some of you may have sent in some questions, so hopefully Elise can answer those, and we hope to see you at some element of this course over the next couple of years. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, David, for this amazing presentation and covering all the topics that will be covered by the advanced program, the webinars, the online curriculum, and the face-to-face workshops coming. So I have indeed received some questions on the email, on our email account, events@theatris.eu prior. And I'm also monitoring the questions chat box here. So I will just start from the questions that I received on the email. They are mainly concerning the workshop and the online course and the webinars, of course. And so first question, how can I find more information about the workshop and sign up for it? So since the workshop will take place in person, the timing of it has not yet been confirmed or announced. It's tentatively planned to take place over the course of 5 days, full time, and will happen either later this year or early next year. So either the end of 2020 or beginning of 2021. We're very closely monitoring the COVID situation, and as soon as we have more information available, we will share it via our social media channels. We'll post it on our website. And of course, we will advertise it to everybody who has joined our webinars since we started them. Another question, what is the acceptance criteria for the workshop? The applicants will be asked to submit their CVs, write a motivation letter describing their interest in the field of ATMPs, as well as outlining their current scientific work. And the latter will eventually also be presented at the workshop by the students. The candidates will be selected by our senior scientific committee, which consists of experts from all of our partners that David mentioned there. And also a strong interest in the ATMP field is something that we will take into account and will be of advantage, as well as the future plans outlined in the motivation letter. We will accept 30 participants per cycle to the workshop, and we have 2 cycles of workshops. So one hopefully later this year or early next year, and another workshop at the end of next year. Then we have a few questions about the online course. How long is the online course and when will it be launched? The online course will be launched in October this year. It's completely open access to everybody and anybody and free of cost. It will consist of consist of 4 units, and the overall time investment for the students will be roughly 15 hours, so 15. Everyone can complete the course at their own pace. The only requirement is the students who are applying for the workshop. This online course and completing it successfully is a prerequisite to be accepted. Another question about the structure of the e-learning modules. So the modules will consist of lectures from experts in the field, and they're coupled with suitable exercises to test you on the content. Each topic will have several experts where needed, so that we cover as best as possible the crucial elements of that focus area. And then the workshop not only covers scientific content. Can you explain more about the career guidance topics that will be involved in advanced program? Yes, so indeed, the advanced program also has a transversal skills component. We will have 3 webinars on topics such as CV and motivation letter composition. And of course, the angle is finding a job in HCM fields or scientific fields. There will be a webinar on how to be successful at a job interview, and then another webinar as well as a module in the workshop about work-life balance and stress management. And the last question that I have here from the prior emails is, can you explain how or if this course is accredited in any way? Yes, so participants who complete the specific requirements can earn various digital badges. So we have developed an open accreditation process. It is not formal accreditation, so it is not the ECTs or credits that you could apply toward a degree at this point. We are in conversation with one of our partners to investigate if we could provide that at a later stage. But at the moment, what we can definitely guarantee is that students can apply for badges, digital badges, for the CV writing webinar, the job interview webinar, and completing the online course, as well as participating in the workshop. And these badges will be shareable via LinkedIn. So let me see if there are any other questions. Is the course suitable for undergraduate students in their last year of study is the question. And I would say absolutely. And since it is absolutely free, the webinars and the online course is free, everybody can also join and see if they find it suitable for themselves, if the level is appropriate. But my initial answer is definitely yes, especially if you have a strong interest in the experience field. And the possibility for younger students to get involved, or is it just for PhD? So that's basically the same point. Yes, I think everybody can join the online modules and the webinar, and then can assess themselves whether it's of any value.
Hi, Elise, this is David again here. So again, I'm sure a lot of people on the call right now may have additional questions. So of course, the lines are always open, right, for those questions to be answered through emailing you, right? Yes.
Indeed. So like I said, the webinar was recorded. We will be sharing the recording, so you get to review everything you heard already today. And if you have any questions we haven't yet answered, or something pops up in your head afterwards, you're always welcome to email us at advanced@theatris.eu, and also follow us on social media on LinkedIn and Twitter. I will show you the slide up. So here you can see our LinkedIn and Twitter accounts. Please do follow us. We will be posting all of our events there. And I think last but not least, I would like to let everybody know who's joining today that the next webinar will be held on April 21st at 1 p.m. Central European Time. And this one will focus on the career aspects. It will be on CV writing and motivation letter writing, and it will be conducted by our experts from Carl Leuven. And you can learn more about how to write the good motivation letter for that next dream job, dream position you're hunting for. I will do another speed of the questions that I have received here in the chat box, because there are quite a few, and I know who they came from, so I can either answer them privately and send them back to you, or I can do a little FAQ document after the webinar and share it with everybody who joined, and also people who signed up but were absent at this time. And I think this concludes. I thank everybody for joining. David, is there anything else you would like to add at this point?
Oh, just thanks again to everyone for joining, and I really, really recommend you take advantage of this initiative. It's going to be a fantastic course to try and help train the future, specialists in ATMP research. And there's just send us an email, look at what's available, the different webinars, the different e-learning modules, and just get involved. And we really, really look forward to working with you all over the next 2 years. So thanks again, and thank you, Elise.
Thank you, David. Yes, so please do follow us on social media. LinkedIn is definitely the best place where you would find all of the most up-to-date information as we go along. How to sign up for the webinars, how to sign up for the online course, and also the information will be launched there once the workshop dates have been determined and the applications are open. Thank you again very much for joining us today, and hope you will all stay safe and healthy. Have a lovely day.